Tara Lynn with 5 Acres Honey Farm. I have a quick video. I'm hoping to do a series over the next week. We're approaching what used to be my least favorite day of the year. I always dreaded it, which is the first day of winter. I am not a winter person. I grew up in New York and moved to North Carolina 14 years ago, primarily to not only get rid of the expensive cost of living, but also primarily to get away from the snow. And so here in North Carolina, we have just enough snow where I actually enjoy it because it's not here very long and it makes everything pretty, and then it's gone. So leading up to the final day of fall, so it'll be the first day of winter, I started a few traditions in the past few years, and I realized that with the first day of winter, it's not only, and I guess I should explain why I don't like the first day of winter, the winter solstice, and that's because it's the shortest day of the year. You know, I do so much, and a lot of what I do, I need to be outside and, you know, have that sunlight, and having those short days is really, really draining, and it's hard to get everything done when you don't have much daylight. So I realized, though, in the past few years, and it kind of coincided with becoming a beekeeper, is that the shortest day is also the longest night. It is the best time to rest, and it's the time for the hives to rest. And so I should take that as a sign that it's a time for me to rest. So it's also a time for me to focus on other projects that are inside. And so if you followed for a while, you've seen some videos in the kitchen where I'm making, sugar bricks for the bees, or, DIY laundry detergent. And so I've just done a kind of a facelift in the kitchen, and I'm planning on doing a full kitchen tour when the last few little items are done. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek because I'm definitely customizing it to make it a beekeeper's kitchen. So I've got a little honey bar that I've created, and I'll show you that in a moment. But what I'm planning to do over the next week leading up to the winter solstice is I'll share my traditions that I've established in the past few years. And what I've done is that in the week leading up to the solstice, every day I have a little tradition. It might be making an ornament, or making a wreath, or taking a walk in the woods. I have a whole list of things that I've started to do annually leading up to this time. And I thought it would be a great way if you are also not a fan of the winter solstice, or if you have your own solstice traditions that you'd like to share. This is a way that it's made me look forward to this time of year, and I'm really kind of excited to celebrate this, shortening days and longer nights. Plus there's some delicious recipes involving honey, of course, for some little treats that I really don't make any other time of the year. So that's also what I'm looking forward to. But let me show you the honey bar. And I'm filming this the day before I start my traditions because tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be making the wreath, but my husband will still be sleeping and I don't wanna make too much noise. So I figured I would explain a lot now. You'll see the rest of this when I've had a fresh cup of coffee tomorrow morning. So let's take a look at the kitchen, and we'll go from there. This is the sneak peek. So I know I haven't shared any before pictures, but I've added all of this shiplap. I've also painted the cabinets and replaced the hardware. And this is also what I've added on here too. So I've done some vertical shiplap, and this was left over from when I did my office last summer. So I did a whole accent wall in shiplap. I've used a different stain here. I used a clear stain in my office, but I really wanted to have this tie into the warm tones of the wood around the house. So I've got this year's harvest, which was really tiny, and I still need to get this honey to friends and family. Actually, I've mailed a few out, but I don't want to go hang out in the long lines at the post office right now. And I'm planning on doing like a grain shelf down here, just kind of in the midst of pantry refilling right now. So, but the idea is that I'll have my own stash of honey here, and this would be ideal for like glasses of wine, or any kind of snacks while I'm cooking, not to take away from the prep space. So This is a little bit of the sneak peek, and again, probably a full reveal before the end of the month. I have a few more pieces I'll be putting together. Like I mentioned, it's really early in the morning, so I'll show you, now that I have my coffee, what little items I'll be using on the wreath. This is the wreath I got. Where's the price tag? 75 cents at a thrift shop. I dehydrated these oranges last year at Christmas for decorations, so they still look pretty good, so I'm gonna use some of those. Got a feather I found outside, a half a hickory nut I found outside. The first week of this year, I had gone for shooting lessons with a friend, and I like that these are red and green. This looks a little more blue on camera, but I thought they looked very much festive, the colors. And cotton that I grew, comb from the hives, wishbone, and oh yeah, and a quail egg from our quails. So I'm gonna use some of this E6000 to get it fixed on the wreath. All right, I have it laid out the way that I like it, so now I'll start attaching everything. All right, I've got everything where I want it. It's all glued, and now it just needs to dry, so I'm gonna let it sit for the day and take a look at it this evening. This part was the most difficult to get on, so I'm hoping that that stays. Pretty happy with how this wreath came out. I don't think it needs any additional glue. It's looking pretty secure, so I'm gonna go find a place to hang this up. And please let me know if you've got any solstice traditions, or if you're gonna try this as well and enjoy the season. Let me know. All right, I found a spot in the living room. I like to rotate what I hang here each season, so I think it looks pretty good. I've got the garland hanging out here, and I got the tree, so it's a nice little centerpiece. I'm liking it, but let me know what you've got going on.